Rusky's Crypto Cave here. As you can see, I have an Excel spreadsheet pulled up. I'm going to be reviewing my profitability for the last, 6 months of this year up until the current profitability of July. I have a spreadsheet that's basically compatible with Coinly that I could upload all the transactions if I need to for the ones that don't automatically transfer with the wallets and whatnot when it comes to doing my taxes. I log all the transactions when the payment hits my wallet, and not like every single day as it's mined for each coin, because that would just generate a ton of transactions, which each time you get a transaction is a taxable event. So I try to get payments around 7 to 10 day mark from different wallets, and node rewards, they'll come when they come. I currently run a Flux Nimbus node, so it's about roughly every 3 days I receive a payment from the node, and then the pre-nodes are about on a weekly basis roughly, and then as I accumulate more pre, that will probably just get a little bit faster every single time. But as you can see, for the month of June, total income from mining and node rewards was $1,150.17. Now that is revenue, so that should be total revenue, maybe not total income. If I go over to this tab in the income statement tab, this is where I log all my monthly mining revenue, node revenue, and electric cost. The only thing that's not really logged in here is what I pay for the nodes. The 2 pre-search nodes that I'm running, so technically I'm running 3. I'm running one on a Raspberry Pi at home here, and the other 2 are on Rack Nerds. It was like $1.92 a month for the node hosting. I did those for a year each. So those are about 20 some dollars or whatever it is on an annual basis. And then the Flux Nimbus node I am running on host nodes, and that expires in 72 days. It is currently down. Host nodes is doing some server maintenance and stuff, and they've said they're going to compensate us for the downtime, so we can see what they'll compensate us for when everything gets back up online. They said they're going to send it directly to our Flux wallet addresses, so we'll see what happens there. But for the time being, it is down. A Nimbus node being down is a whole lot faster turnaround than the having a Cumulus node down, because I did have a handful of Cumulus nodes running before, one at home here, and then 2 of them on VPSs. And if one of them went down or if there was an issue, it was like 2 weeks before you get back, once you drop to the back of the line, to get back in line for payments, and it would just take forever. So the Nimbus is much better, much shorter waiting time. Obviously, you need more collateral. The reward percentage is lower for the EPR, quote unquote. So there's trade-offs for either way. But let's go back to the spreadsheet. So in the month of June, here you can see I was mining a lithium, Varus coin, Neoxa, Ergo. This is the Jazz miner on Ethereum Classic. Excuse me. I am double or triple mining on most of my rigs too, so you have the Zilliqa payments. I have it set to every 500 Zilliqas when I'm getting paid. I have a mini Doge miner, so that's the Doge payment. That's on F2 pool, so I get paid out and I get to 40 Doge, which is probably in this 8 to 10 day range, in that ballpark. We might be able to see here. So that was on June 18th. Yep. So about 10 days on that. Radiant, Varus coin, Casper, Flux, Ergo. As you can see, all the different coins I'm mining and the different payment schedules. And then here we had the parallel asset payments. So that's what some of these are. Some of these smaller ones are when a snapshot was taken. I did have some, I think, Flux ETH and Fluxtron or whatever it was. So that's what those smaller ones are for. And my God, did the fusion fees eat up a lot. Good Lord. It was kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. So that's why some of those payments are there. And then there was also some from the pools in July. This 304 Flux here, that was a payment from Hero miners that included my current mining and my Fluxmatic parallel asset balance, which was around 200 and some, I believe it was, is what paid out. So 2/3 of it, maybe more, was parallel asset rewards and just what I had accumulated to that point. And then this 357, this was a swap, I believe. So some of the income and stuff for the month will be inflated. As you see down here, this Raven, which I'm not currently mining Raven, but I did log it as a mining transaction because it was kind of like solo mining on NiceHash. So I did any catching a block, so that's what that is there for the $48. So that's good. And then on over here, you can see my node payments on the right. And then I also added a new section from DeFi because I do have a liquidity farm deal going on. Spectrum Finance. I currently have staked 321 Ergo and 400 SIG USD, which is the stable coin on the Ergo blockchain, for a total value of about 791. You receive your payment in the SPF token. Get about a little over 10. This was at 10.7 something at one point, and gradually every single day it gets lower and lower and lower. And I'm guessing it's going to reset around August 1st. But you see my total collected rewards has been that, and then as I've been getting that, I've been kind of auto converting that into. Initially, I was staking more. Well, not staking more. I guess I guess you could call it a stake, whatever. I was just adding more to my liquidity farm, and then at the end of June, I did a cash amount. It was about 8 or 10 Ergo, and then I'd have to go to my Zelcore wallet and see what the exact amount is. And then recently, at the beginning of July, as you can see, I did 7 Ergo, and I just put that in my wallet. So basically, that's what the game plan is for now. Is once I reach enough for, well, technically I could swap it now, but I have pull up my Nautilus wallet. Once that gets to 100, it'll probably be like 102, 103 and change. I will swap it and convert it into Ergo, and then when it gets to 100 again, do the same thing. So it's basically like every 10 days is roughly what it's going to be. I'll be swapping it into Ergo and collecting it instead of re-upping it. Because personal opinion, I figured that $800 is more than enough for staking rewards. Now, come August 1st, I'm going to see what happens and maybe restake it, redo a farm, whatever. Because I'm guessing this will expire and it goes back to my wallet, or I'll just have to claim it. We'll see. This is my first time doing this, so we'll see how that works out. But so far, this has actually been pretty profitable. I bet you it's 15, 20 Ergo is probably what I've collected so far from just liquidity farming or whatever you want to call it. So far, so good with that. But anyway, back to the month of June. For the most part, actually, let me pull up Hive OS. I'll show you what my rig's running as well. So it says 80 GPUs up here. I do not have 80 GPUs running. I believe it's 76. Because we got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 70, and 76. Something's goofy with the flight sheets. For some reason, these NiceHash rigs, whatever, are registering GPUs. There is no GPUs. There was a GeForce 710 initially hooked up to them when I was first setting them up to go into the BIOS and all that fun stuff, but they're not currently connected to them now. But either way, whatever, it doesn't matter. But here you can see what I'm running. All my 3070 rigs, I am mining Flux. On the 3080 rig, this is triple mining, Ergo and Caspa and Zill. And the Ergo is being mined to the Mining King's pool, so I will put a link down below if you want to support the Mining King. There's only a handful of miners on there. I think the last block that was found, I got 25 of the 39 Ergo. So I'm digging that. It's nice getting a big chunk of payments. Whoops. And then 2080 Ti's are on Caspa, 1660 Ti's. I have mining Neoxa to NiceHash. The 3060 Ti rigs, these are also triple mining, so Ergo is being mined to the Mining Kings pool, and then Caspa to Hero miners. 3070 rigs are, like I said before, on Flux. 2070 rig, that one is on Radiant, also on Mining Kings pool. I'll leave a link to that below, like I said. And then the 3070 Ti rig, that is on Lithium. Most of the other pools I'm using is on Hero miners. Just not sponsored by them or anything. I just like the interface and it seems to work smoothly. So I will stick to that. But here we'll go through. I am mining. My Jazz miner is mining two miners. I just recently switched it over here. I was on Ethermine, and since they were being shutting their pools down, switched to two miners. You can see I received 2 payouts so far. And then here is the Flux pools. And currently still have a future PA balance of about 246. So it's probably a little bit less than that is what I received from the parallel assets of the Matic. So that will be what my, and then here you can see this is the payment. But I got 88 Flux pending. Lithium. 92, but that's close. This pays out at 100. Here's the Mining Kings pool. We found 11 blocks so far. Up to 5 miners. Let's see here. Yeah, total been paid is 117.79 Ergo. There's the 3 rigs that are on there. When did we? Let's see when I started mining on here. I know I found one of the early blocks. Yeah, about second week of June is when we started mining on here, because I found this block, and then that block is my rigs found that one. And here is the Radiant pool. Currently paid out 9,100 Radiant from this pool. This one we found 27 blocks. Obviously the pool hash rate has come down. Got about 21 miners on that pool right now. Here is Ergo. 1,700 Ergo pending. I had this set the payouts at 2,000. It was set at 5,000, but since the hash rate has increased dramatically, I had to lower that because it was just taking too long for payments. Zill, I only have 2 workers on her now because I didn't see an update from Mini Z for this Epoch one or whatever it was, because I noticed the other day that I had no workers. I was like, what's going on? So I checked on the Hive OS. Apparently, I didn't really follow Zill that close. Apparently, it was that update. Nice hash. Here's a couple rigs of nice hash to 3 CPU miners. And those guys. 2700X rig. This is on Luck Pool, mining Varus. I did find 2 blocks, so this does give you a 1 Varus coin payment for blocks. It's been a little bit over 2 days, as you can see. I've been mining on it. I was mining on it before and received some payouts. Figured out why not. I'll just throw a rig on there because they got some things going on where some block rewards might be increasing, so figured I'd take a chance. Brains is where my S19s are going. I have a balance of 0.0079, so like some of this was mined in June, but like I said earlier in the video, I don't log the transactions until I receive payment to my wallet, and this is set to receive payment at 0.01 Bitcoin. And here's Brains OS just running my 104 at 110. Pre-search nodes have a little bounce there, so when this gets to 96 or so, I'll do a claim. So now I'll have another 100 tokens to stake. But here is the Raspberry Pi, the Racknerds, and the amount of rewards I received for each one of those guys. And the money pool, this is on Pool Flare, is the Kadena miners. Got balanced at 21 there. I had this set to a payout of like around 120. And let's see what else we got going on. Oh, Chia miners. I do have an Evergreen miner. Haven't, not sponsored by them either, so I paid for this out of pocket. I think I got paid about 0.4. Yeah, about 0.4. So this is set to 0.1 for a payout there, so that's getting close to a payout, so I will receive another payout for that this month. Anyway, we'll go back to the spreadsheet here. The couple things I was doing, like Kadena, for example, this tab I'll look at. game plan with Kadena as I was just to pay back the miner. I was as soon as I got to the pool payout is set at 120. Then that's when I was having payouts, and then I would keep 15 in Kadena to store in a wallet, and then the other 15 or 20. As you can see, January 15th, I just did 100, and so I kept 20, kept 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, and I kept 20 there for whatever reasons. Probably just I just made a mistake and didn't realize it. And the last time I sold was in May, and I was at 75 cents. But also, if you remember, this Binance just made an announcement that they're not allowing conversion to USD and cashing out. So the last two payouts that I've received on Kadena are just sitting in my wallet right now because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do as far to cash that out and liquidate that into either USDT, or what I'll probably have to do is trade it into USDT and then swap it to maybe Litecoin or something, and then Litecoin to Coinbase, and then Coinbase to bank account. I'm just trying to figure out what the lowest fees are going to be for that. But I do have about 210, 220 Kadena that I do want to sell and liquidate and just cash out. Because as you can see so far, that Kadena miner, I probably did spend close to $4,000 on it, and I only got $1,200 back of it so far. So, and I'm sitting on a couple hundred Kadena. I don't know exactly how much, but maybe 250, 300 on top of that I plan on keeping, which isn't a whole lot, especially at like 60 cents that it is now. But anyways, so income statement, this is where you can see each month. The other thing, March was a large number, but if you remember back in March, that was also a parallel asset payout was back in March from Flux. As you can see, that was right around all in here. And then Flux was also at like 25, 30 cents higher or whatever it was. Because all these pricing is logged by the time and minute that the coins are mined. And that's what the price is, because that's actually the taxable event. So that's what I'm going to be getting taxed on at the end of the year. So that's why I mine everything on that. And then this spreadsheet layout is available on Coinly.com. It's nothing difficult. I just kind of added that over here. So when it actually does come time to do my taxes, I may have to do some copy and pasting from here, which would be a whole lot easier than logging every single transaction at a time. But we'll see. This is my first year doing it this way, so. In April, you can see I was mining Zill, Darrow. I was going to Rabbit's Pool, and I was doing like daily payouts, and it was like payouts were coming in multiple. It was kind of annoying because it was doing a whole bunch of little small transactions. And did a little bit of ironfish mining. Boy, did that ever drop like a rock, huh? Still have, I think, 10 ironfish just sitting in the wallet. I just recently downloaded the Node wallet and had that set up, but just sit in that and see what happens. I don't remember, because there was a while where I was mining ironfish and just sending it to KuCoin and selling it. And I think I converted it into Flux, either Flux or Caspa. I forget what I bought. Just because it was converted to USDT, so I didn't know what the transition into. So it's either Flux or Caspa. One of those two is what I turned it into. But as you see in the Flux or the Node side, the dollar amount keeps going down, $42, but that's pretty much directly related to the price of Flux being on the way down. June only shows $34. Well, actually, here, this will show all of them. So it started at 60, and gradually on its way down. But I'm a long-term believer in Flux, so I think that will do good over the long run, especially the next bull run. We should see some nice price appreciation on everything. But current month of July, so far, it shows 637. But 140 of that most of that is, like I said, parallel asset payouts, and then this is a parallel asset payout as well. There's two payouts from the Mining Kings pool for the Ergo, and then the Kadena payout as well. And that, like I said, was a node reward, or not node reward. That is a parallel asset payout as well for miner pool, because I was originally mining on minerpool.org, and then that was the payout for the Fluxmatic token. So I got one more about that same amount of Flux sitting on miner pool to get paid out when the next one is released. Nodes, you see we got 2 pre-search payouts and 2 Flux payouts so far this month. Obviously I didn't mine, or didn't get 97 pre-search in one day, but it accumulates over time. Let's see, I'm going to pull up the electricity bill I have here, because I'm very lucky. I think it's going to expire in August, but I have a ridiculously low electricity rate. As you can see, the supply side is a flat fee of $29.99, and delivery is $663.58 for a total of $693.57. Normal PP&L rate is 12.6 plus distribution, so it's going to be like 16-17 cents. And what this works out to, go back to my spreadsheet, this tab, electricity, 693. Total kilowatts used was the 14,282, works out to be 0.486 cents per kilowatt. Now the billing cycle is a little different, and it doesn't start June 1st and on June 30th. It's a little off. I've been just tracking it this way the whole time I've been mining, so I'm just leaving it this way just to stay consistent. Let's see, this is the kilowatts at the 1660 Ti rig. So that was on Neoxa for a while, so then I recently switched that over, because you can see the increase and decrease and change in wattage. This is on Radiant. That's what I was trying to get. That is on Radiant, so you can see the power usage for that each month. This has been on a lithium for a while, and mining room, which is actually not a shed. I should probably rename that column. And the total kilowatts used for mining was that for the month of June. Let's see what else we got going on. So that, I guess I'm kind of summing up so far. I mean, there's not really much else to go over as far as profitability wise, but yes, I am making money. After electric, that pays for the shed. Maybe not all the parts that are in the shed, but it pays for it. The shed cost me $2,985 delivered to my house and set up. And then I should probably make another spreadsheet here and just add another tab as far as a breakdown of all the money that I put into the shed and what the total cost is. Because I bet you it's probably $4,500 between the fans and all the vents and the shelf and all that stuff. It's probably in the $4,500 range is my guess. So I can work on collecting all that information and getting that together. But it is a write-off that's going to be depreciated over 3 years, 5 years, whatever the IRS does. So that will be depreciated over time, because I do everything as a business. So yeah, that's what it's looking like for Rusky's Crypto Cave mining operations. So still making some money. If it wasn't for the ridiculously low electric rate, that would not be the case. So I'd have to figure something out and turn some rigs off. But for the time being, it's working. So I'm going to keep mining and have to deal with the electric rate. Probably my guess is that's going to change in October, November timeframe, because that's when I switched over, and I think I was on a 1-year contract. It seems like I thought it was originally 2 months, but it seems like it's going on a year. So I'm not going to call them up and say, hey, switch me back. So I'm gonna take advantage of this as long as I possibly can and reap the rewards from it, and hopefully in a couple of months the mining thing starts turning around, becomes more profitable, and because they still have a flat fee program, because I've been with that same company for a couple of years now, probably since 2019 I think is when I first switched to them, and I've been using them, and my flat fee per month was, after the intro, was like $194, then it went to like $460 something, and then 730 something plus, and it was all plus distribution. And then even when I was 7 something plus distribution, my total bill was around $1,200 a month, which worked out to be about 8 to 9 cents per kilowatt. But that was before this most recent like price hike with that everybody across the country have seen with electric rates. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So I may have to just shut everything off for a time period and go from there and go back to them, or who knows. But I figure I got a couple months to figure that stuff out, and we'll deal with that when the time comes. Like I said, if I have to shut everything off, I have to shut everything off, and then turn back on when I can turn back on. Or if there's stuff that's still profitable, I'll figure it out. But got time, because what's July? I've got 4 months to worry about that. So until then, I'm just gonna keep on mining. Oh, and I will add, I did order a KS0. Not sure exactly when it's going to be here. I figured it had some Ethereum burning a hole in my wallet, so I figured I might as well take a chance. I know by the time it gets here, profitability is going to be much lower than the $30 a day that it is now, but because it's technically already dropping, it's down to 25, I think I saw about today. So just because the rewards have dropped, so instead of being 207 a block, it's down to 195. So you have that plus the increase in hash rate. So I'm guessing by the time it gets here, it might be down to like say $20 a day. So hopefully I get some time out of that, and with my super cheap electric rate, I think it will remain profitable for at least 4 or 5 months. And even at like a normal standard rate, it might not be as profitable, but I figured might as well take a chance, try to mine some Caspa and stack it, fill a bag, and see what we can do with it, and see if it takes off the next bull run. So, but I'll post another video once that puppy comes in, and I haven't seen the shipping notice or anything, but I think I bought that from Crypto Miner Bros, and it was like $12.50, I think, after coupon code. I think I used Red Panda's coupon code. So I was typing in a bunch of different YouTubers' names, and Panda's worked. So like, hey, looks like Panda's getting a referral from that one. So, but until the next video, this kind of just gives you an idea of what I'm making in my mining operations. It's definitely not Ethereum days, that's for sure, but still profitable. I'll take it. All right, catch you later.